At this time, I'd like to call the public session to order. If you could please come up to the podium when your name's called, state your name and address. Please keep the comments to 5 minutes, and please no personal attacks for city staff. Our first speaker is Frank Timpson.
Hi, my name is Frank Timpson. I own and operate Ontario Taxi, and I reside at 329 East 9th Street, Oswego, New York. I have been coming here for the past 8 years for the same shit. This taxi stuff and the buses. Okay? I've had enough. I'm done calling 911, done getting blocked up at Seneca Hall. I'm going to start a war that the city's never going to forget, and the New York Times is going to write about it by the time I'm done. I've had it. I've talked to DOT, I've talked to 911, I've talked to the state police. You guys are supposed to be policing these buses, and you're not doing it. 911 kept me over there in front of cams an hour and a half Saturday night trying to get some police officer to take the call to pull over the buses for overloading. It's against the law. Pull them over. They should be paying licensing fees and driver fees, just like the taxi cabs do. There is no, we're governed by the state. There's DOT to make sure safety regulations are met, and that is it. They're not governed by the state. You guys can kick them off any damn city street you want because you're the city. There's not a damn thing they can do about it. Now, my little boy is 3 years old. I have a 10-year-old girl. I've lost everything because you people don't do nothing. You let drug dealers run rampant in the street when cabs transporting drugs. You have illegal taxis all over the place that all of a sudden become legal. This administration has to go. You guys are just scum. Nothing but scum.
Next speaker is Mr. John Gibson.
John Gibson. I own New York Transportation, reside at 281 County Route 20. I was here approximately 3 weeks ago. I was guaranteed a phone call, number one, by the mayor. Number two, I've talked with City Hall regarding Lake City Taxi. Numerous phone calls were made to Oswego Police Department. Why isn't anything being done? You allow Brian Savage to operate his taxi business. Now, I've obtained documents through the county office building today. He's got a total of 7 taxis on the road, 3 are licensed with the city. Why isn't the city clerk going to do anything? I put 1 new taxi on the road. I got pulled over by a Oswego City police officer today for being unlicensed in the city and not being inspected by the police. Lo and behold, my fees were paid to City Hall. My vehicle was inspected. This is Brian Savage's nonsense. You got to turn everybody in. You got a city attorney who doesn't do their job. You guys think I was born yesterday? I know the FBI is coming back to the city this week. So I mean, we really need to do something with these illegal taxis. I do realize they did do a sting. They wrote a couple companies out there. This nonsense with the double faring. Who makes these rules up and regulations? This is the first I've ever heard about a double faring. Does the city, you guys pay my taxi insurance? No. So when I get a ticket for a double fare, I'm going to sue the city. I'm letting it be known right now. I run 2 taxis in this city. Lake City runs 7 taxis. None of their taxis, as far as I'm concerned, but 3 are legal in the city. Their drivers aren't even legal. They didn't file paperwork and add these people on until September 14th. Takes longer than 2 weeks for a background check to be done at the Port Authority. Their drivers, other than what he had on prior to the hiring, has not had any background checks done. I've already checked into it. Workers' compensation insurance is not being enforced. I've made a phone call to the Workers' Comp Board. I have an investigator that I'm meeting with this week. I'm going to sue the city of Oswego for up to $1 million. Number 1, breach of contract. Number 2, city attorney not doing their job. I was promised a phone call the last meeting I was here by the mayor that I would receive a call the next day. Not once did I get one phone call. Not once. So I just don't know what the problem is, what you guys are afraid of with Lake City Taxi. I really don't. My vehicle's been sabotaged. I've had windows blowing out. I have been shot at on Bridge Street. Not once did I get an OPD to respond up there. What's the big deal? What's going on with the Oswego Police and Brian Savage? That's what I'd like to know. Anybody got any explanations? Of course not. Because Brian's in North for DTF.
This isn't a question and answer session, so it's just a time for you to address the council.
Okay, well, I think I pretty much addressed it. I want their licenses pulled immediately. If their license is not pulled, you guys will be answering to the State Attorney General, I'll guarantee you Wednesday afternoon. Because I am going up there to the federal courthouse on Wednesday morning. I am meeting with them. I have a lot of solid evidence, video footage, the whole 9 yards. I've met with Lieutenant Sear numerous times. I have sent in taxi complaint forms. I've signed them. I filled them out. I have all that evidence sent home in my office on when they were received and the whole 9 yards. I've been told by Charlie myself, if I see an illegal cab, to call OPD direct. They dispatch. Whoever the girl is over there that answers the phone, refuses to send it, tries to send me to the 911 center. 911 center's got better things to do. They're very capable of dispatching a unit out from that station right there, out on the road. These poor cops don't know what's going on. They rely on us to be their eyes, and as far as I'm concerned, nothing gets done. Is it that he's picking up personal relatives? That's what I've been told by your city attorney, that he's picking up, oh, it could be relatives. I doubt it. Not when he goes from Walmart to here to here to there. I've got solid video evidence, video footage, the whole 9 yards. I have tailed his taxis for the last month. So unless you guys are going to pull his taxi license, and I expect it to be pulled, I'm going to go forth with a lawsuit. I really am. I've had enough. I pay $5,000 a year for an insurance on my cabs. My vehicle's all inspected by OPD and everything else, but yet he can get away with not having his taxis inspected and him picking up in a personal vehicle. I'm out all hours of the night. I have contracts throughout this city, throughout this county with New York State Medicaid, with Swiggle Hospital, and so forth. But nothing seems to be getting done with it. So I really hope, that you're going to relay this message to the mayor, who has not returned any of my phone calls. I hope the city attorney that's sitting there is going to do something about it, because evidently I just think I'm just wasting my breath. And if nothing's going to get done, then, I really hope that he does not get reelected, because he has not done his job as far as I'm concerned. I feel that I've been lied to every time that I've been here, every time I wasted up in the office. I've wasted numerous OPD officers' time over there at the police department, complaining. They got better things to do in the city than listen to me complain. I've said enough.
Next speaker is Amy Birdsall.
Good evening, councilors. I look forward to your support tonight regarding the vote for the Bergman contract and the Complete Streets project. At last week's meeting, there was a concern brought up about cost, and I just wanted to address that concern publicly. The top two consultant bids were $285,000 and $250,000 respectively. As a committee, which included Mike Smith, Karen Noyes, Austin Wheelock, and myself, we discussed the difference in cost in the decision-making process, as we know that tax dollars are important to steward. So we did the math. We discussed how the grant will cover 75% of the total project cost, and that the city is required to match the remaining 25% of the total project cost. So that difference, that gap of $35,000, the city doesn't pay that entire difference. The difference gets split 75% to 25% between the grant and the city match. So we would actually forfeit $26,250 in the already awarded NYSERDA grant in order to save $8,750. The committee felt very strongly that the additional value that the Bergman team would provide was well worth the $8,750 difference in cost to the city of Oswego. The Bergman team exhibited a much higher level of commitment to implementation and being able to source funding dollars for the project. During their interview, Bergman discussed how they had written the federal grants that had provided the millions of dollars in funding to implement a Complete Streets project in Rochester. And that was very impactful to us. The purpose of the project is to have it built so that the community reaps the economic benefits of having a beautiful Main Street. The intention is to inspire private investment. In Hamburg, New York, where a Complete Streets plan was recently implemented, $7 million of private investment was poured into 96 projects along that corridor. Imagine how this project and the projects it inspires will transform our downtown and our Main Street. Imagine how it will change our community. I believe that we have to invest in our community so that others will invest in making Oswego an even better place to live, work, and play. Paying $8,750 to hire the more valuable consultant is an insignificant amount that will give us the best opportunity to source millions of dollars for implementation, get the project built, and then inspire millions of dollars in private investment. I would appreciate your support on this important vote this evening. Thank you.
Next speaker is James Early.
Yes, good evening. My name is James Early. I live at 320 West 3rd Street, the 5th Ward. I would just like to offer my thanks to the council. I was out of town recently and got back and noticed that the work was proceeding on the westbound lanes of Bridge Street. And I would just like to thank the council for their work on that. I noticed, I heard impassioned pleas from both Councilmen Kapelowitz and Todd on many occasions about getting that work through, and I want to thank the DPW and the council for working together. I do have a concern, though, about the scale of that project and whether or not the scale of that project might impact other projects that we hope to work on in the city. And so if there is any opportunity to discuss that or mention that, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Next speaker is Sue Matthews.
I'm Sue Matthews. I live in Scriba. I own property in the city and do most of my business in the city. I have concerns about the redo of 104 East corridor because of the mess the 104 West corridor is. After the state redid it, we're still having the problem the past 2 years. There's no place to plow the snow. I have photographs of people up to their armpits trying to press the crossing button to cross 104. I have photographs of people walking, pushing baby strollers through blizzards on the state highway. Now, I understand the state pays you, the city, to plow the road. I think that somebody needs to inform the state that they've created a very dangerous situation. If they expect you to keep the mess they built clean, they need to pay you more to clean it, to pay for the manpower to keep the sidewalks clean, because there's no place to plow the snow from the roads except the sidewalks. Now, there might be other options, like you could make a different rule about snow removal on the sidewalks for that business district, starting by the plaza and going east. I think you should have a rule that says if the store is open, the sidewalk needs to be cleared. If the sidewalk isn't clear, the store doesn't open. If the store is open and the sidewalk is not cleared, there needs to be hefty fines for Walmart, Lowe's, and all those stores in that corridor. The only one that keeps their sidewalks clean is Aldi's. And it's been going on for 2 years. And I know you guys hate it when people die, but that's what's going to happen there. Somebody's going to die. Unless you want to be responsible, you better make the state responsible. And if you're responsible for the maintenance, they better pay you enough to take care of the maintenance. But you need to fix that. Thank you.
Are there any other speakers for public session? It's time I'd like to close the public session. And we'll start the regular meeting. The city attorney joins us. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please call the roll.
His Honor the Mayor,
Excused.
Counselor Enright.
Here.
Counselor McLaughlin.
Here.
Counselor Todd.
Excused.
Counselor Walker.
Here.
Counselor Barlow.
Here.
Counselor Van Buren.
Here.
Counselor Kaplowitz.
Excused.
We have 5 present with 2 excused.
Under the mayor's report, we have 2 items. First is a proclamation. We is Fire Prevention Week for the week of October 4th through the 10th. Whereas the City of Oswego is committed to ensuring the safety and security of all those living in and visiting the City of Oswego, and whereas fire is a serious public safety concern both locally and nationally, and homes are the locations where people are at greatest risk from fire, and whereas working smoke alarms cut the risk of dying in reported home fires in half, and whereas 3 out of 5 home fire deaths result from fires in properties without working smoke alarms. In 1/5 of all homes with smoke alarms, none were working. The City of Oswego residents should install smoke alarms in every sleeping room, outside each separate sleeping area, and on every level of the home. And whereas the City of Oswego residents who have planned and practiced a home fire escape plan are more prepared and will therefore be more likely to survive a fire. And whereas the City of Oswego first responders are dedicated to reducing the occurrence of home fires and home fire injuries through prevention and protection education. Whereas the 2015 Fire Prevention Week theme, Hear the Beep Where You Sleep, Every Bedroom Needs a Working Smoke Alarm, effectively serves to remind us that we need working smoke alarms to give us the time to get out safely. Therefore, I, Thomas W. Given, Mayor of the City of Oswego, do hereby proclaim October 4th through the 10th, 2015 as Fire Prevention Week throughout this city. And I urge all of the people of the City of Oswego to install smoke alarms in every bedroom, outside each sleeping area, and on every level of the home, including the basement, and to support the many public safety activities and efforts of the City of Oswego Fire and Emergency Services during Fire Prevention Week 2015. Chief?
For the second matter, Mr. Early brought up the DOT project and paving that we recently did on 104. On Wednesday, I will be meeting with the state head of DOT at the college to go over the paving plan for 104. That is a state project, so they're the ones left taking the leadership of that. It won't serve the city project because the state will have to hire the manpower, the planning, and all that to do it. So I'll be meeting with them. I'll present them with the findings from the last time we had the traffic department go through and take pictures of all the potholes and issues and discussing what that means for our corridor and how that affects what's going on in the city of Oswego. This is part of the issue that Governor Cuomo did to bring the department heads for the state closer to local municipalities to work with us and representatives from the city. So we'll be bringing that to their attention on Wednesday and hopefully getting more data and information on what they're doing to get this addressed.
Is that a public meeting?
From what I understand, it's open to the public through representatives being picked. I'm not sure. I just got the invitation. Do any councilors have anything to report? Please call resolution number 413.
Resolution 413 would approve the minutes of the common council meeting held September 14th, 2015.
Council Barlow, Council McLaughlin.
Council McLaughlin?
Yes.
Councilor Walker?
Yes.
Councilor Barlow?
Yes.
Councilor Van Buren?
Yes.
Councilor Enright?
Yes.
The resolution passes 502.
Please call resolution 414.
Resolution 414 would approve the use of public space at the request of the Oswego Lacrosse Club Incorporated to install a lacrosse box at Fort Ontario.
Council McLaughlin, Council Enright.
Councilor McLaughlin?
Yes.
Councilor Walker?
Yes.
Councilor Barlow?
Yes.
Councilor Van Buren? Councilor Enright?
Yes.
The resolution passes 502.
Please call resolution 415.
Resolution 415 would authorize the mayor to execute an agreement with Bergman Associates for the complete street plan project.
Council Walker, Council Enright. Please call the roll.
Counselor McLaughlin.
Yes.
Counselor Walker.
Yes.
Counselor Barlow.
Yes.
Counselor Van Buren. Counselor Enright.
Yes.
The resolution passes 502.
Please call Resolution 416.
Resolution 416 would authorize the mayor to execute an agreement with CPI HR for the administration of the Affordable Care Act compliance.
Councilor McLaughlin, Councilor Enright. Please call the roll.
Counselor McLaughlin.
Yes.
Counselor Walker.
Yes.
Counselor Barlow.
Yes.
Counselor Van Buren.
Yes.
Counselor Enright.
Yes.
The resolution passes 502.
Please call Resolution 417.
Resolution 417 would approve expenditure of funds from the ice rink capital reserve account for the operation of the ice rinks for the 2015-2016 season.
Councilor McLaughlin, Councilor Walker. Please call the roll.
Counselor McLaughlin.
Yes.
Counselor Walker.
Yes.
Counselor Barlow.
Yes.
Counselor Van Buren. Counselor Enright. The resolution passes 502.
Please call Resolution 418.
Resolution 418 would approve a bid submitted by Patch Management Incorporated for the pothole repair project and further authorize the transfer of funds from the contingent account to pay for same.
Councilor Barlow, Councilor Walker. Councilor Barlow.
Thanks, Counselor. This is a machine and company we're bringing in to finish up some road maintenance and address some of the more severe potholes in tough areas around town. And I'd just like to remind counselors to submit a map, their map and list to the DPW, hopefully by the end of the week. Thanks.
Councilor Walker.
I do have a quick question. They are guaranteed. How many years is it?
One.
Is it 1 year? Come back and replace them?
Yep.
Very good, thank you.
Please call the roll.
Counselor McLaughlin.
Yes.
Counselor Walker.
Yes.
Counselor Barlow.
Yes.
Counselor Van Buren.
Yes.
Counselor Enright.
Yes.
The resolution passes 502.
Please call Resolution 419.
Resolution 419 would approve a transfer of funds from within the fire department.
Councilor Walker, Councilor McLaughlin. Please call the roll.
Counselor McLaughlin.
Yes.
Counselor Walker.
Yes.
Counselor Barlow.
Yes.
Counselor Van Buren.
Yes.
Counselor Enright.
Yes.
The resolution passes 502.
Please call Resolution 420.
Resolution 420 would waive the rules of the common council to present resolutions number 421 and 422 from the floor without committee consideration.
Councilor Barlow, Councilor Enright. Please call the roll.
Counselor McLaughlin.
Yes.
Counselor Walker.
Yes.
Counselor Barlow.
Yes.
Counselor Van Buren. Counselor Enright.
Yes.
The resolution passes 502.
Please call Resolution 421.
Resolution 421 would approve a solid waste license for the year 2015.
Councilor Barlow, Councilor McLaughlin. Please call the roll.
Counselor McLaughlin.
Yes.
Counselor Walker.
Yes.
Counselor Barlow.
Yes.
Counselor Van Buren. Counselor Enright.
Yes.
The resolution passes 502.
Please call Resolution 422.
Resolution 422 would approve the use of public space at the request of Ms. Weekend, owner of property located at 280 West A Street, in order to construct a deck.
Councilor Barlow, Councilor McLaughlin. Please call the roll.
Counselor McLaughlin.
Yes.
Counselor Walker.
Yes.
Counselor Barlow.
Yes.
Counselor Van Buren. Counselor Enright.
Yes.
The resolution passes 502.
Is there any unfinished business? Councilor Walker.
Move to adjourn.
Councilor Barlow, second.
Counselor McLaughlin.
Yes.
Counselor Walker.
Yes.
Counselor Barlow.
Yes.
Counselor Van Buren. Counselor Enright.
Yes.
The resolution passes 502.
Meeting is adjourned.
7:39.